We are live.
Already, Anna?
Yeah, let me just check the audio. You can see everything on the desk.
But I don't see I'm moving.
Do you see it? You see
I
it?
see it, but no movements.
Let me check the audio. Oh, audio's good.
Audio good, but
Hit play, Dad.
nothing moving.
We are live, Dad. You have to hit the play button. Did you hit the play button?
Play, where is play button? I don't know.
I can't reach. Hit play.
Oh,
Hit
this
play.
one? The big one?
Yeah, hit play. Hit play. Now move. All right, give me that iPad. Don't you guys love the behind the scenes stuff? See over here, this is how you work an iPad, Dad. You just go that way.
All the way?
There we go. So you see the movement over there?
Yeah.
And now you have your chat. You'll be able to see your chat over here.
Okay.
And then you see it here.
Thanks, Tara, for explaining to me. I'm not that familiar with all that thing, and I just let it Tara to go. Let me see who is. We have few friends already on it, and I want to say thank you first to my friends for being here, and thanks to Tara that she came back from her traveling, and I hope she's gonna stay now, and so we can start working on my project. And also I want to discuss with you about the problem in the world, and a problem basically in Ukraine, Poland, Europe, and finally discuss like every my project for the homeless and retirees project. Okay, so I hope you guys, if you're interesting, eventually we can discuss every country in the world, but you have to let me know which one you are the most interesting. Thank you, Tara, for inviting me here.
Hello and good evening. I'm Tara Shapansky, the host of PoAm World News Tonight, along with my father, Marian Shapansky, and thank you for joining us this evening as we discuss what is going on in the world, mainly to catch me up to date with what's going on in the world, as I have been on the other part of the world, other side of the world for almost 2 months now. So hey guys, it's great to be back. It's great to be back in studio with my father, and of course, we're going to be improving the show as we keep going along. So we're laying the scenes. Really, this is still behind the scenes stuff. And we're testing out, of course, almost like every single time, testing out new equipment. So I like this DJI microphone. I think it's working quite well. So highly recommend that for my tech people. Dad, I would say the biggest news of today, of this week, and is, and probably a lot longer than that, not to minimize things, is the Queen passing.
Well, I feel so sad because I really like her. She was with us for such a long time, and she was like part of our family. I think for everybody it is some kind of sad day, but you know, we all under for a certain time. We probably have to do something on the earth and then disappear.
Queen Elizabeth II was the longest reigning monarch for almost more than 70 years. So she was she wasn't intended to become the queen, but basically her uncle had what's the word, when he left the throne in order to actually marry an American, and then it passed on to his brother, which was Queen Elizabeth's father. So she actually took, what, at age 27, I believe she had her coronation, which I've learned was 16 months after her father's passing. She then became the ruling monarch and has ruled for over, when I say ruled, of course England has a parliamentary system, but she's been monarch over the UK for 70 years. She came into succession in 1952 or 1953.
Something like that, yeah.
A little bit after the end of World War II, and now the line passes on to Charles, King Charles. So I learned that, of course, now he is he is reigning as king, but the coronation, she waited about 16 months before she held her coronation, because I am interested in, possibly going to England during the coronation, which will probably be several months from now out of respect for her death. It's going to be about a 10-day process until her funeral. So her funeral will probably be going on, I believe the 10th day is going to be next Sunday, with day one counting as Thursday, the day of her passing. She's currently in Edinburgh, but there are ceremonies being held all throughout the UK. I have friends who are in London and in Cardiff, and they said that there are gatherings in front of the various palaces, and of course the flag being held at half-staff. And with looking online, I've seen various mixed reactions to her passing. Some, mostly, recognizing her very positively, to India almost immediately demanding the jewel be back, returned back, that was on her crown. So, but God save the Queen.
One thing I want to mention, not everybody knows that one of the king married Polish woman, and they got married in Wrocław, Poland, so that's, I'm not saying just because I'm Polish, that's what I heard on the news anyway.
I know that the nanny for Harry and William was Filipino also, so.
Well, Tara is Polish Filipino, that's why she tried to little bit pass towards the Filipino side. That's okay. Anyway, I want to, my friends, talk about also about the great news, what's happening in Ukraine, because the Ukrainian heroes, I kind of love Ukraine, not only because they are our Polish neighbors, but for the heroes, what the Ukrainian soldiers just did recently, around the Kupiansk, Kharkov, Kherson, they pushed the Russian away from a big distance, and they, I like the news when they saying they beat the shit out of the Russians, because the Russians had no right, this is my opinion, they had no right to invade Ukraine. This is a sovereign country, and what they're doing in destroying Ukraine, it is against the humanity, and they should be punished. And I think they're getting punished. And Putin not going to get punished only for Ukraine, but he also going to get punished for Smolensk. You heard what happened in Smolensk when the airplane went down with the Polish president, and
that took out almost the entire Polish government.
Yeah, 100 people of Polish government just died. And I believe that was a conspiracy from Putin, because he didn't like, basically I have nothing against the Russian people, like we are good people and bad people, but what Putin he does to Ukraine, it is like German Nazi did to Poland, So I'm kind of sad about it, and I'm really pissed about it too.
How do you feel the war is going? We know that Ukraine is going to win against Putin, but
Russia has no chance to win the war. I'm just not trying to be, predict in the future, but with the technology what the Western countries have, and all the countries on the West are against the Russians. So they have no chance to win, and Putin should know that. He should give up right away, just take the people and save all his people, because they dying. Like 50,000 Russian soldiers already was killed in Ukraine. That's half of the army. And what he does now, he releasing people from jail, and he tried to make them soldiers.
I heard about that.
Stupid think about it. How you can make criminals as soldiers? And the Russian soldiers, they don't want to really fight Ukrainian people. They've been before. They have a lot of families in Ukraine. you know, they are basically like used to be like a brothers. So of course, the Russian always been taking advantage of Ukrainian people. You know, if anybody knows little bit of history, they treat them like as slaves too, and that's why the Ukraine wants to be independent country, and they deserve to be independent.
I want to put you on the spot too with a question that I know that a lot of conservatives and Republicans, when they have criticism on the war, it has to do with the amount of funding and money that the U.S. and other countries would be sending over to Ukraine, when a lot of people feel that's money that should be used here. What would you say in response to that sentiment?
Well, Ukrainian fighting not only for themselves, the Ukrainian fighting for the whole Europe and for the whole world, because if we let the Russian now take Ukraine, the next step, well, it used to, they take first Crimea, then they took Georgia, and they want to now take Ukraine, next probably Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania.
Poland's right after Ukraine, so being a Polish news channel as well, you guys can see where our position is when it comes to fighting the Ukrainian war. You brought up like how Putin and would go for Belarus and Armenia and Georgia. Yeah, I want to, I guess, deflect a little bit to bring up what's going on in our southern border. There's actually been a lot of people coming through who are from those countries through our southern border, and I haven't delved deeper to understand what is the present situation in those countries and what kind of claim that people would have for refugee and asylum status. But I think it's interesting that even when I was reporting over at Eagle Pass and Yuma, had seen a lot of people coming from Armenia, Belarus, Georgia. I'm only guessing now, but does that have to do you think, with the war in Ukraine somehow?
Well, United States is a rich country, and everybody try to, with the reason not only political but also economically, they try to improve their lives, and we're always going to have people coming to United States. But you see, Poland right now hosting about more than 3 million Ukrainian people, and they're giving them the same privileges what Polish people have. And Poland is not that rich country, and they can afford to help Ukrainian. And if it comes to the military, Poland is on a tough place to help Ukraine. And I'm surprised about Germans, because we know there was a sneaky deal between the Germans and Russia, but the Germany is part of the NATO, and they're supposed to help Ukraine, So I'm kind of disgusted about Germans that they not give enough support to Ukraine. And what they're doing to Poland or Hungary now is also discussed. The Germans try to dominate the Europe, okay, and they try to take the sovereignty from those countries and dictate it. They didn't achieve during the Second World, so now they try to repeat the same thing. It's not just by the military, but economically they try to dominate all the countries in Europe, which is not fair, and that's why the Polish government, they want that the Ukrainian gonna win, and they join also the Poland in a better democratic way of winning the European Union. So that's good news, and but I don't think that the war gonna be finished this year. Because Russians gonna start releasing more and more prisoners from. They try to make them soldiers, But I don't know if you heard on the news how they run away from the Ukrainian now, leaving all the equipment and all the stuff, and they just running away. They put the civilian clothing and try to sneak out from there, So that's kind of funny, And what they think, the Russian already running of the ammunition, so they go to North Korea and begging them, hey, help us, you know, give us more ammunition because we want to shoot more Ukrainian people. That's kind of funny, you know.
Terrible, terrible.
Yeah. So basically, the Poland, I'm sure they're gonna keep helping Ukrainian people. You know, that is mostly the
Poland has actually taken in more than 3 million refugees, and total of all of the other countries combined, Poland has taken in more refugees than all other countries combined. So you have to. Is this going to be good for the country, though, Dad? Because Poland's population is what, 39 million?
Yeah, around 40 million, and Ukrainian is also 40 million. So if we join, because Poland just passed the law, whatever the Ukrainian coming here, they have the same privileges, and Ukrainian try to make the same privileges for the Polish people in Ukraine. Okay, so it will be
form of
like a pact between, you know. But also the funny thing that England is supporting, and they also gonna join the Union and United States. So we're getting very big support from United States, and basically you heard on the news that always the America sending them money and stuff like that. If you heard about the words that we have to take care of the American first, that's true. I'm #1 American. Then I got big sentiment for Poland and Ukrainian because I'm from that region. I've been raised in Poland for 20 years, and I'm already 54 years in America, and my children are raised here. So you know, this is my country now, and I love America, and I always will be supporting what whichever the government is. I supporting the government what it is, no matter what anybody thinks. Okay, but I want to also say that let's make America great again. So.
What did you know, I only caught tidbits of what's going on and trending on the Twitter sphere, but I heard Biden made quite a speech last week, and the imagery of him really with like the red background. I mean, he has to have PR people that said this doesn't look good. I don't know, maybe they did it intentionally, but that to me strikes, you know, like Hitler. Because he had said that the biggest threat to democracy was the MAGA Trump supporting Republicans. Do you feel like, you guys in the chat, like, didn't this president pledge to be a unifier? I feel like this is like among the most divisive language that he's not even trying to hide it. At least Obama tried to hide the divisive rhetoric that he had, but Biden didn't try to hide this divisive rhetoric. He's trying to make everybody who voted for Trump, which was 75 million people, to be extremists.
Well, for me, either you are Democrat or Republicans, it does matter, okay? We all have to support what is good for America. That's why in this program also I want to continue, like every program with Tara, I want to, talk about my projects, which actually would save America from, the bad opinion about that we have so many homeless people and retirees have problems. And I think my project would save America not only from Russia, but also from China, which, as everybody knows, if the economy keeps growing in China, then they're going to eventually dictate America what we have to do, and that's what we don't want. We have to think how to mostly people be, when they retire, be more happy and live better lives, and also we don't want to see the homeless people on the streets, okay? That's why my project will be let them have some kind of life where they can sustain themselves, work for their food, and for the better, they have better condition, and and be more sustainable that not depends on the people that they're going to give them the dollar, anything help, I'm kind of heartbroken when I drive the car and see the people on the street, anything help, they look like, really terrible, and I think we can improve their lives and not see those people, if we can build some kind of super farm for them and they can just work and, feed themselves.
Mm-hmm. So to recap about what my father is talking about, for those of you who have followed our program for a while now, my dad's project is about helping the homeless. And that is another way of making America great again, by taking care of the people who are our own American homeless. And though I do agree that America needs to help as we can for the rest of the world, let's not forget that we have our own problems here. And among that would be, we have a lot of homeless veterans. And it does cause a bad feeling for me personally, and maybe you guys will relate, when we give handouts to people who aren't even, born and raised here, before we even help our own. Like, I would always make the illustration, I'd be pretty, offended if my dad fed the neighbor before feeding me, being his own, his own child. But that's not saying we shouldn't help the neighbor as well. But we have to prioritize. And with that prioritization comes along my dad's project about helping the homeless here in America. And what he's talking about is that America has a lot of farmland. And with that farmland can be used with something even as cheap as shipping containers, to be recycled and reused and created into a form of housing. And rather than this farmland being left unused, we can create these kind of containers on the farmland and then allow people to then produce their own food. And so this would also be sustainable and provide a person with a purpose, which I think is something that is very important for having them be engaged into civil society, by reintroducing a purpose for those who really have hit the bottom rung in society. And that would be our approach to helping America become great again.
Yeah. Can you imagine that we have more than 1 million homeless people, living on the streets, and Poland just, helping more than 3 million, which is not that rich country. Okay, so I'm sure we can solve the problem for the homeless people here, and move them out from the city to the more like a farm, And
you go to not to interrupt you, Dad, I'm sorry about that, but when you go to these cities, which are largely democratic, you'll see that they're taxed so much. Tax rate is so high to have then that money go where? Because evidently it's not going to solving the societal problems that you have. You go to San Francisco and it's just a drug den outside. So where does the money go? I mean, even in like a socialist society, you see a lot of still homeless because there's corruption that's involved, and I think that's causing a lot of the problems that we have in Democrat cities. So what my dad is saying, rather than housing the homeless in the cities, we can utilize the farmland that's out there and give them space there. This would actually also help with the businesses, because not to be mean, but doesn't it drive down the property value of places and make it unsafe when you have homelessness and drug use occurring right in expensive neighborhoods? For instance, during the pandemic, especially when they were moving homeless inside of expensive neighborhoods. One of my friends who lived in the Upper West Side, she left because she felt so unsafe in her neighborhood. And why was she paying thousands of dollars of rent to then feel unsafe in the area? So that wasn't a good solution by the mayor before, and I don't think Eric Adams is doing too much better.
So my plan basically it is that first I want to raise some money on a GoFundMe, so I can open own charitable the non-profit organization, which right now I try to raise about $800. And if you guys want to support me, because I'm starting from the bottom and I slowly gonna get all the information, and once I gonna have that non-profit organization, I'm gonna try to contact the rich people, which they have to sponsor the building the farm. And then once I'm gonna build at least one farm, I'm gonna show you how that works, and we're gonna experience if this work or not. So that's gonna be, you know, and then maybe I can get after, if I'm gonna prove that it works, maybe I can get government help. And if this first project about the homeless will work, then I'm gonna also try to make the rich people to work on my second project with the retirees, which the retirees project gonna be like wonders of the world. Okay, so I will explain you later, but the whole idea it is, you know, just right now I just want to raise some money to get
to
that
file the paperwork
non-profit,
for a nonprofit status. So to recap, guys, I just dropped the link into the chat for the GoFundMe. You will see that so far we've raised $10 into it, which is my contribution. And
well, I have to tell you, I put
oh wait,
also,
I put $5, I think, and Mark put $5. My brother.
and I put $300.
Wait,
you didn't see?
why didn't the money show up?
Because I put in a bank.
Huh?
I put in that my account, GoFundMe, $300.
Into this link?
Not to this link. I put in a bank, $300. So it's not going to the GoFundMe. It's just in a bank. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want to put it through there because GoFundMe is still going to. GoFundMe is going to take fees off of that. So Polish brain. Exactly. So don't put your
the money on GoFundMe.
GoFundMe is just a way of. We should also set up a gives and go is probably better than GoFundMe, because GoFundMe does often not support a lot of patriots out there, so we are conscious of that. But my brother helped my dad to set up a GoFundMe because right now he wants to raise the money for just filing the paperwork to get a nonprofit status, and we're doing the research now to be going along with those steps. From there would be courting donors in order to acquire a private plot of land to do a small test run, basically, of the idea of putting people into farmland and allowing, giving them even chickens, right? You want to get
one thing I don't have any experience on how to support that project, and like LAF giving me the idea, go direct. Okay, dollars. Some